Are you tired of wasting 15 minutes of your day looting, only to get absolutely ruined by a hacker? Are you fed up of landing at a superstore that resembles Walmart on Black Friday and coming away with nothing but an all-expenses-paid trip to the Gulag? Have you had enough of running into players that are so sweaty, scientists are genuinely baffled as to how their controller remains in their hands? I'm about to show you how to actually have fun on Modern Warfare. Gaining notoriety in Call of Duty 4, this popular game mode was made so great by the use of the eavesdrop perk, allowing you to listen into the terrified screams of those in close proximity. While eavesdrop has been notably absent from all releases since Call of Duty 4, the post-death listen-in feature lets you know just how much your friends love you.
We've taken the lead!
Although eavesdrop might have been the best part of playing Mike Myers, the additions of realism game modes and night vision maps are more than enough to scare the absolute shit out of yourself.
Dan is literally right next to you.
For those of you too young to remember Call of Duty 4, or have been living under a rock for the last 10 years, or both, the aim of the game is to be the last player alive. Split into two teams, the Stabber, also known as Michael Myers, makes up the attacking team, with all of the players on the defending team, otherwise known as the Stabbies, running for their lives. Mr. Myers has to remain in his spawn for 30 seconds to give the other players a chance to run and hide. Once 30 seconds have passed, it's stabbing time. No guns are allowed to be used, so Myers must try to eliminate everyone only using his combat knife. To mix things up a bit, when only one player is left on the defending team, they are allowed to try and kill Michael Myers in a 1v1 knife battle. If confrontation isn't their thing, they can also wait it out and play for a draw, which, considering he's just murdered everyone else on the team, doesn't sound like such a bad deal. So, how do you play it? First up, you want to set up a private match and set the game mode to team deathmatch, ideally with at least 10 players in your lobby. As for a recommended time limit, it varies depending on which map you choose. Generally, the bigger the map, the longer the time limit you need to allow. Tend to hover between 5 to 10 minutes and limit the map size to your standard 6v6 selection. And if for some weird reason you want to play on Aya Palace, I'd probably look at booking some time off work. While you're on the game tab, set the score limit to unlimited and leave the rest as they are. On the advanced tab, you want to set everything to 0 and leave spawn protection timer as disabled. Now go to player settings, you want to change the number of lives to 1 and leave everything else the same. In team options, set spectating to free, so when you die you get a bird's eye view of everything going on, kind of like Pac-Man but with more murder. Scroll down to final kill cam and make sure it's set to final kill, and enable minimap is set to no. Lastly and most importantly, on your gameplay settings you want to set realism mode to enabled and disable kill streaks. I also tend to enable headshots only because every lobby has that one player that unloads a full clip at the slightest noise. As far as what classes to use, the Michael Myers class and the defending classes are pretty much the exact same, except Myers is allowed to use Tracker as his perk 3. I would recommend using some form of shotgun or submachine gun as your primary, with no stock, smaller barrels, basically anything that gives you that extra movement speed. Secondary weapon has to be the combat knife, as the Cali sticks don't kill in one hit and aren't exactly a serial killer's weapon of choice. Double time works best for your perk 1, with restock for your perk 2 to provide extra smokes to help you give him the slip. As I mentioned earlier, Michael Myers should use Tracker as their perk 3, but if you're defending then tune up works the best. Don't worry about your lethal as they shouldn't really be used anyway, keep your tactical as smoke grenades. Dead silence should be set as everyone's field upgrade. Serial killers aren't deaf and the footsteps in this game are stupidly loud. As an added bonus, the speed boost comes in handy when you need to make a getaway, but bear in mind Michael Myers can also use this to his advantage to close the gap on anyone he's chasing. In terms of which maps tend to work the best, outside of the night maps, Trench is probably my favourite. To stop anyone getting the upper hand, going above the trenches is normally banned. This way you end up with a more confined space and absolute chaos. I would recommend setting the time limit a lot lower on this one to give the defending team a fighting chance, as this map is tiny and there are very few places to hide. Piccadilly works quite well because there are some sneaky good hiding spots, although everyone tends to end up sitting on top of the buses anyway. Vacant and Sawmill also work well, basically any map that isn't your standard 2v2 or 10v10. Some other things to take into account: if there are players in your lobby that don't know how to slide cancel, asking the others not to do it is also recommended, as this will give players who can an inherent advantage just for being sweatier than their friends. Before you think about being a smart ass and getting him to chase you for the entire game, bear in mind he can literally see your footsteps, so losing him might be harder than you think. There are a few ways of getting Michael Myers off your trail. When being chased, throwing a preemptive smoke toward a corner is an excellent opportunity to give him the slip. When you make it around the corner, drop down and let him come flying past. You can then take this chance to leg it back the way you just came, like this. As it's every man for himself, why not screw over one of your teammates? If you're being chased, run Mike Myers right into their hiding spot in the hopes that he then latches onto them, giving you the opportunity to run and hide. If you're in it to win it, the best tactic is to find a good hiding spot and not move at all. As tracker only affects moving targets, he'll have no footprints to follow. That's pretty much everything you should need to play Michael Myers in Modern Warfare. This is the way I found works the best, but if you have any ideas to make it better, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more private match ideas to tide you over till the next installment of Call of Duty.